DMJ, and you're in the bomb shelter, the most powerful place on the planet. And on the phone right now is filmmaker Kim Stephens. She just recently finished a project called The Diner. Kim, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you, Darrell?
Hey, I'm outstanding. Let's just jump right into it. I've seen the movie, and it's kind of a throwback, kind of a piece out of the 60s, perhaps, that you kind of brought forward to kind of touch on a lot of the tensions, especially from a racial standpoint, that are going on today. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I am a true friend of Rod Serling, and it has a lot of his influence. And I basically wanted to use my craft to address some of the social and political issues that are going on right now. I feel like time is our greatest teacher. In the past lies our greatest lesson. So the piece is an 8-minute short that's power-packed. And The Diner is basically one man's search for emotional truth, and it attempts to make a statement about the human condition, especially after one of the most controversial elections this country has experienced. So I had, the storyline came to me in a dream, Darrell, in a dream. Like many Americans, I was really a little bit disturbed by how the 2017 election went, and or 2016 was spurring over. But there was a lot of hate out there, man, and I was uncomfortable with that. So this piece, I felt like, was a safe way for me to kind of deal with my fears, anxiety, and anger. I think sometimes film is a comfortable canvas for us to storytell and to express our voice. And I was able to do that with this piece.
Well, tell me this. What has the reaction to the piece been like?
Well, I haven't. You got a sneak peek. And so the small group of people that I have had look at it said that they couldn't stop looking at it, and they became a little angry and uncomfortable. And for me, that is what I wanted, because anytime you are dealing with hate, it is something that is uncomfortable. And we cannot get so comfortable with the hatred and the just non-positive vibes being spewed out here now, that it should be that way. So people want to see it. They want their friends to see it. And so right now I'm kind of waiting to see how it does on the film festival trail before I actually make it virally public. But the feedback that I've got is really good, and I'm happy that I took the risk. Sometimes as a filmmaker, we're kind of hesitant about dealing with topics that are going to be a bit controversial because of the backlash. But I think right now, at our current state of affairs, we've got to be that way. We've got to speak our truth. And my way of doing that is through my craft, which is filmmaking. So the response has been pretty good, and people can't believe that within those 8 minutes that I've got so much going on, and it makes sense.
Yeah, like you said, there is a lot going on, and it's amazing, yet sad in a way, to think that a film like this, The Diner, and thinking about the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and we are still here really battling these same issues. If nothing else, I really think the film, and of course, yeah, like you mentioned, I did have a sneak peek, will hopefully reignite and start that conversation again that we are definitely in need of.
The character Charlie Tanner, he exists in this time period, and he encompasses hate. And a lot of times, even though you may not know people really well, sometimes they give you hints of who they are by the bumper stickers that are on their vehicles, by comments that they make. So this gentleman, with a few little hints, you get to know what type of person that he is. And so he wants to go back into a time of where hate was prominent and people were comfortable with it. And that's what he does by stepping into the diner, and he meets the ghosts of the past. But the reality is that hate is an energy that is uncomfortable. And even though you may not be the person that's going through the pain, or, you've got racism being thrown at you and experience, people don't like to see that, because it is a painful thing. So that's what I wanted to come across in this movie, that though you may not be a direct result, or the wall may not be built to keep you out, you are affected by it. We all are. So I think that I've done what I want to do in this film, is that we've got to have those uncomfortable conversations. That's the only way we are really going to be able to make change. And I believe that, truly.
I've seen a number of your films. I've watched you grow as a filmmaker. I've watched you struggle as a filmmaker. And I tell you, I'm really proud to say, and I really feel that this, to me, is one of the best pieces I've ever seen you do.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I think that...
Go ahead. It's just so meaningful, because it really captures your attention from go. Soon as we fade up from black, it's like, wow, what's going to happen next? And like you mentioned, it is a short film, but there are so many things packed within that short film. Things, as you mentioned, we've got to have that conversation, not only as a country, but across the globe. We've got to have the conversation.
I agree. And I feel like as a storyteller, it's important for me to be authentic with my message, even in the midst of political views and ethnic identities. And as an artist, I must avoid artistic interference from the powers that be. So I feel like that's important to me if I'm going to leave a legacy of value as a filmmaker. So sometimes you have to make others feel uncomfortable in order to give truth a platform. And this is what this project is doing.
We all have things that we're upset about, especially, what your view was on the election and the current state of affairs in the United States. However, it's all about how you respond. We all have the ability to respond, and you've chosen to use your art, your craft, to really, really give a voice perhaps to those people who don't know how. And I think this is a great project. And I tell you what, Kim, going forward in the future, I think you found your groove. You found your groove.
Well, what I would like to do from this project is to do a series of projects and stories similar to this. I think that it's important for us to stop and think about the resolve of what's going on around us. And it takes a village. And right now, with everything that's going on, that is the truth. Alone, one person standing alone is not as powerful as a group of people standing together. And I think that we've got to do that, and we have got to use our talents to express how we feel and to have a voice. And that ultimately at some point, people would get tired of the masses saying one thing, and they can't run a country by themselves the way that they would their household or their company.
Let me ask you this. Tell us about some of the film festivals that you are reaching out to get this project in.
Well, I kind of want to keep that undercover in case they say, no, girl. In case they're like, no, Jim, no. But what I will say is that I'm going to be very selective. I feel like that I know it's a good project, and I'm going to just go with the flow. I'm going to go with the flow. And the feedback that I've gotten from people that are in my circle who are very honest people, and they'll let you know, honey, that's not going to work, have said that this project is really something that makes a difference and that the message needs to be told. So I'm happy about that. And you know what? Even if that's not the case, I love doing it. I had an opportunity to work with an awesome, diverse cast of actors and actresses for whom I had never worked with. It was a beautiful thing because I made a post to film the project because I got access to this lovely location, and the time frame was really stringent, and I had to shoot it during the holiday. So to get people who you've never worked with at all come out based on your past performances and seeing some of your other work, say, hey, Kim, I would love the opportunity to work with you, and drive from out of town to do it with, and saying, hey, don't worry about fee or anything, Kim, we got you. I want to be a part of this project. That's an awesome feeling. And these are people who are diverse in culture, who say, Kim, we want to see more messages like this. We're not happy with the way things are going. As a filmmaker, that makes you feel good. And to have an outstanding crew of people behind you to let you know that, Kim, this is something that came to you, but we're going to support you without end. I'm truly blessed in this experience, truly blessed. So I think meeting the people and seeing them work and shine, that made me feel good. More so than going through the project and doing it, it's the people. We all got together in a small diner, and we let the magic happen. And these are people that have never met. None of this was rehearsed, so it was all or nothing. I had 3 hours to utilize the location, and I did it. And these people, they were like, look, okay, we got you. And you could feel the tension. You could feel the pain, but you could feel the accomplishment after we were finished in this small diner. And I'll never forget it. Never forget it.
Let's do this. We got a little bit more time. Sorry to interrupt you there. Let's talk about some of those people, because I looked through the cast list. I didn't see my name, but I did look at the cast list. I did see a couple of people I know and was really amazed at their range. Jeffrey Payne. I was really, really impressed with him. CMD.
Yes.
Very, very impressive. And Vicky.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. I was. Vicky's last name, is it Browning? Is that Vicky?
Yes, Vicky Browning. I actually went to school with her. So, and then I called her at the last minute and she came through. But I really want to talk about the performance, too, of Jason Smither. He was phenomenal. Though he didn't have much to say, when he spoke his truth, it changed the whole course of the film. And Larry Jones, which is the main character, who, if you know Larry in real life, he is a great guy in person. But in this piece, he had to be a straight up maggot to the fact. So that just shows that he has got great acting ability. I mean, some of the other cast members that I had, Danae Wilson, she did a fabulous job. Marshalla Thompson, Christopher Parrish, Amy Thompson, Madison Tankey, Angela Ramsey Robinson. Just a lot of people came through for me. Ronnie Johnson, Aaron Mack, so Isaiah Robinson, Willie Kesley, Willina Kesley. I mean, I had a wife and husband group out there, so it was nice to meet all of these people. And like I said, it was a large cast. It was close to 13 or 14 of us in that diner, and the diner is tiny.
This project is super, Kim. I'm very proud of you. We look forward, and I know I look forward to you, staying in contact with you, bringing you back on and also perhaps even being part of a project or two down the road. So this has been DMJ in the Bomb Shelter with Kim Stephens, filmmaker. The film is called The Diner.